Good morning, students. Welcome to the Google class. It's nice to see you all here. It's a new method of teaching and learning. So, let's begin our class. The second stanza. The 19th autumn has come upon me. Since I first made my count, I saw before I had well finished, all suddenly mount and scatter wheeling in great broken rings upon their clamorous wings. Indeed, it turns out Yeats has always counted the swans for the last 19 years and is counting them this autumn. Yeats observes all of the swans rise up and scatter, circling in imperfect rings in the air just above the water. The poet also repeats the word autumn in order to emphasize that he is aging and fading while the swans remain beautiful. The meaning here is a scatter wailing gives the swan a wild, untamed air. They are natural, unbridled. He says that the stillness of the counting persona, what you see, is contrasted against the movement of the birds. We can also look here and see the paradox, the clear contradiction. The swans must be subject to the cycle of change. We can look from the poem and the lines that it is 19 years since Yeats first visited the park and saw the swans upon the lake. On his first visit, he attempted to count the number of swans. However, the swans flew into the air before he could finish counting them. The strength, clamorous, that means noisy, and power of the swans is suggested by the poet's description of them flying away. I have looked upon those brilliant creatures, and now my heart is sore. All's changed since I hear him at twilight. The first time on the shore, the bell beat of their wings above my head, trod with lighter tread. Now here we can see that these brilliant means brightly shining as well as generally excellent. Swans once again has underscored just how much has changed in those 19 years. Here the poet wanted to tell you that he was a young man in his early 30s and now, but he is in his early 50s. And this late middle aged, okay, and he's unmarried and without children, giving you a contrasting that first twilight evening when he heard the wings of the swan nearly 2 decades ago with the deeper twilight of his own life as he grows old. Twilight, repetition of symbol, indicates cyclical nature of time. It also associates swans with mystical dream-like state. You have the word there, bell beat. Bell beat is an alliteration that echoes the sound of the wings. Break in iambic rhythm adds emphasis between the young man footsteps and you can see here and heavy now how heavy he feels right now. You can see lead means pentameter, tread is a trimeter. We can look at the poem and see that how the poet admires the swans, calling them brilliant creatures, but the sight of them makes them feel sad because his life has changed so much since he first saw the swan 19 years ago when he was a much younger man. That's why the last line is ambiguous to some extent, where we can see that how Yeats himself is walking lightly. Back then he trod with a lighter tread. His body was youthful. Unweird still, lover by lover, they paddle in the cold, companionable streams or climb the air. Their hearts have not grown old. Passion or conquest, wonder way they will attend upon them still. The swans' hearts have not grown old. Their lives are still full of passion and adventure. That's what is told passion and conquest. The swans are not alone, they travel in pairs, lover by lover. The old adage about swans, of course, is that they meet for life, hence, lover by lover. So, even the streams they paddle in are companionable, suggesting the companion each himself doesn't have. The swan's heart have not grown old. Each tells us that they are possessed of the same youthful passion and vigor. And he tells us that the swans are free to fly anywhere they please, wander they will. The poem gives a clear explanation about how the poet admires the swan and feels that the swans are always together. That is, they are able to be together, and the sense of loneliness probably is what is making him think. Cold, companionable, alliteration, and enjambment joins this line, connecting what appears to be contradictory senses, adding to the distant mystery of the swans. Thank you, students. That was the end of the presentation.